Pred and Drazah front runners join Optic Texas. So this is kind of something that everyone has known at this point. Other like maybe not the Zach thing. I think Zach is interesting here, but we'll get into that. But the Pred thing, I think, is something that pretty much everyone and their mother has expected. I want y'all's opinion. I know the majority of like actual Optic fans are probably excited, and this is the move that they wanted. I know a lot of people had Dylan Envoy slotting in a Shotzi sub duo, and a lot of people were like, you can't really pass up Pred like we passed up Paco, generational talent, this, that, and the other. So I'm curious to see chat's sentiment. Mine is that I would assume, or my sentiment is that I am probably happy with the outcome of this in terms of only AG. We'll get to Zach in a second. I feel with it heavy. I'm not going to lie. I think AG and Shotzi is going to be a pretty insane sub duo. So, now I get to speak objectively about things and be excited for rosters without being an asshole. So I'm excited. I cannot lie. I think this team could be nuts. I actually really like this team. So I think I kind of mentioned it a little while ago about, I think like the leadership thing is like the number one thing that like jumps off the page at a lot of people. I'm sure most people in chat would probably agree there. Getting into Zach a little bit. People are worried that this team isn't going to have a leader. I think that's like the number one thing that everyone is kind of concerned with, because we're replacing Dan with Zach, and obviously Dan was pretty much that entire system with like comms and teamwork and all that. So I am curious to see who takes the reins on that, or if it's a team effort. Someone said IGLing is overrated. While I would agree, I think good IGLs are not overrated whatsoever, and they can enable an entire roster. So there's kind of two situations when it comes to comms and Respawn specifically. I think Zach will do literally everything in S&D for this team, by the way. I think Zach will actually do every single thing that this team requires in S&D. I think he'll tell everyone where to go, and I think he will shot call every round of S&D. Because that's what he was doing for our team, and obviously he was like 1A and 1B with a BZ in terms of S&D talent last year. So Respawn specifically, because again, that's probably the issue that everyone is going to have with the team. I think it's going to be a team thing. I don't think any one of these players is going to, like, I would love to be proven wrong, but I don't think anyone on this team is going to like completely step up to the plate and just like IGL. I don't think that's going to be a thing with this team. I don't think it really needs to be. I think Zach's comms, obviously having 2 years under my belt with him, they've improved immensely from when I started playing with him. So I think that he can definitely step up. I know that like Bruce and Shotzi, I don't know their comms. I've never played with either one of them. But going off of trends and how Bruce was playing, he turned into much more of like that fundamental support mid-AR role, as opposed to just like those 1.3s that everyone is kind of used to. I think that he could do it. I don't know about Ant. I'm not going to speak to Ant because I have no idea whatsoever. I didn't notice any like crazy playstyle shifts, and I've never played with him, so I don't know how his comms are. And then you have Pred, which I feel like Pred should be. I'm going to use the term build around here. I know a lot of people really don't like that, but that's something that's outside of COD. I think Pred's your superstar. I am open to discussion here, but I think Pred is the player that should have the green light. I think you could argue Shotzi, but I'm gonna take AG at this point. Obviously, all of this stuff is rumors, and we don't know what's actually going on. Barring, again, some contractual stuff, most of the time rumors are correct, so we're going to talk like it is. I agree. I think that Pred should be the ultimate green light. I think that, again, his ability to just literally get kills in the purest form is just fucking wild. And he's really good at S&D. I think his S&D is pretty unreal. I think that was like probably an aspect of his games that a lot of people didn't really talk about that much. But I think his S&D is insane.